Missing that key player to complete the God Squad? Well, check out Buy My Coins for instant delivered Madden coins, and be sure to use code SAVAGE at checkout for 10% off.
Yo guys, what is going on? It's Savage here. I'm in a great mood, fellas. Guys, I am bringing you another Madden 18 Ultimate Team video. Better yet, another Madden 18 Club Series video. Better yet, a game of Madden worth $1,000. A game of Madden worth a trip to Orlando, Florida. Guys, I had no idea. I was reading your comments last night and I felt so bad because a lot of you were like, Savage, is there highlights? Savage, can I watch you play that game that won you the finals for the New York Giants Club Series? And I was like, unfortunately, no, there isn't. But I was wrong. Thankfully enough, Twitch.tv actually has something in there, I guess, on their website that allows you to see the previous broadcast of when you streamed. And I was streaming directly from my PS4. I know a lot of you guys know I stream on YouTube, which I will be streaming this week, probably on Wednesday night. But I know a lot of you guys are always like, yo, Savage, can you show us the Club Series videos? I want to see how you played in the Club Series. Fellas, this game of Madden right here that you are watching is worth $1,000. This game made or broke if we made it to Orlando, Florida, and made it to the Club Series, made it to a live event, and here it is, guys. So as you can see, shout out to my opponent right here. Played a very good game, but we just played a little bit better. 4th and 2 for him right here. Going into the backfield, Ezekiel Elliott. Now that was one of his best players. He had Zeke. I think he had Randall Cunningham, Zeke, and somebody else. I forget who his top 3 were, to be honest with you guys. But regardless of that, very good opponent. It was just me and him, and whoever won got $1,000 and went to Orlando and goes to Orlando, Florida for a live event. And right there we get a pick. But as you can see, they called the play dead. That got in my head. That started messing with me right there. Once they called that an interception and then they kind of froze it, I was like, oh my God, I had a pick 6 right there. That would have changed the entire course of this game, because now look at me. I'm operating from my own like 10-yard line. Bro, he put me in a box because I couldn't pass the ball how I wanted, because he could play a lot more aggressive on defense because I was so close to my own end zone. So once I was 3rd and 14, I kind of just did a conservative play call just to try to get my punter to be able to punt it a little bit farther, but he actually managed to drive down the field a little bit and get into field goal range. As you can see right here, 3rd and 5, you know, we played a box really well. But to be honest, this dude, his run game was like the only thing he had. He kind of really relied on Ezekiel Elliott. He had better receivers than us, but he really did rely on Ezekiel Elliott's ability to spin and create space more than he did his pass game. His pass game was really easy to box, and that was our biggest thing. If we can shut down our opponent's biggest thing, his biggest thing was running stretch and just running inside zone. Once we shut that down and we forced him into situations in which he could only pass the football, then we 100% knew that, as I was playing, I knew once he couldn't run the ball that I was going to win the game. I knew 100%, because something really huge that we always had this problem with was passing the football, and we learned how to pass the ball really, really well. And that is something that has taken my game from a just under competitive guy to right there with the competitive people. Like I'm playing really well. Like you guys know, you saw in the Weekend League video earlier, we went 23-2. Not saying that I never went 23-2. Obviously, you know, I finished 12th in the world. We finished 5th in the world like 3 times. We finished 5th in the world twice and then 8th in the world or 9th in the world once, which is crazy. But right here, this game actually meant something. This game meant win or lose, you go to a live event. Win or lose, you get $1,000. Like $1,000 to anybody, that's a lot of money. So when I was playing this game, you know, heart's beating, you know, man, my freaking arms were shaking and stuff. And this was at 1 o'clock in the morning, by the way. I had to wait all day to play this game. Right here now, started the second half, we get the ball 3-3. So, you know, your boy hasn't really erupted too much on offense. We're playing really good on defense, which was my biggest thing. Because if you guys don't play salary cap pretty much is you get a cap and a salary, and you can't go above that salary cap. It's like very self-explanatory. And your boy didn't really use defensive players in the linebacking / D-line. My D-line was Geno Atkins, who is a 90 overall, 85 Bosa, 85 Vernon, and 56 or 58 Vince Wilfork. I don't really recall what his overall is. But then my linebacking core was 87 Shazier, 54 Sean Witherspoon, or 58 Sean Witherspoon, freaking some other random bronze player, and Jeremy Cash. That was my linebacking core. I really relied on my secondary to make big-time plays. And right here on this 3rd and 4, look at this conversion right there. Evan Ingram, he kept playing in a hard flat, so I had to take a shot right there to the sideline. Nice little corner route right there. Then right here, it's 3rd down. Your boy was playing really conservative. It took me a while to really realize I could take some shots because of how well our defense was playing. That's my biggest thing. That was my biggest thing throughout this entire tournament. I didn't want to be over aggressive and put myself into a situation in which I couldn't handle. So when I was playing, I played really really conservative until, well, right here you're going to see us force a fumble that we don't recover. So I was freaking out because we had that pick earlier that just got ruled dead. Then we get that fumble right there that just got recovered by him, so I was really salty. And we kept giving up a lot of 3rd down and 4th downs because I really kept my foot off the gas until I realized, listen, all we have to do is stop the run. See, that's all this guy's offense was inside zone juking and spinning with Zeke, which, I mean, there's obviously nothing wrong with that. This game favors people who like to run the football. I love to run the football, but when you're playing at, like, in my opinion, when you're playing at such a high level, not that I'm like obviously a Madden pro or anything like of that nature, like a really like somebody that's gonna, I mean, I could tell you how to play well, but I mean, I 100% can tell you that if all you're gonna rely on is one aspect of the game of football, which all he was really relying on so much was running the ball, he couldn't pass the ball against us, you're not gonna be able to win. That was what we struggled with so much 3 weeks ago when I was sick and we went 16-9 in weekend league because I literally couldn't pass the ball. But now, since we're passing the ball so well, it has elevated our game so much. Look at the composure. I would have never had this composure before, like 3 weeks ago. That time I stood in the pocket and I delivered a dot. Then right here, the big boy Leonard Fournette doing his thing. Leonard Fournette, this is kind of where we really just took over right now, man. This is where I knew 100% I was not losing this for the Savage Squad. You're going to see us right here now, 1st and 10. He's down 7. I know he has to pass the ball. I'm playing really nice in the pass defense, playing really well. Joey Bosa breaks the contain, sacks Randall Cunningham for a fumble. We get the ball. Then what do we do, man? Halfback freaking wham with the big boy Leonard. Leonard Fournette says, I don't want 1, I want 2, and your boy had the stun on him, man. At this point in time, I 100% knew I was going to win because I knew we couldn't pass the ball. Once I got that in my head and I knew I could play a little bit more aggressive in the pass game, I 100% played a little bit more aggressive in the pass game. Not saying that this guy obviously played really well. He contained our offense as much as he could, but it just came down to his offense couldn't explode like our offense could. Once our offense got to that level, I knew my defense had my back. I knew my defense had my back. I knew my user had my back because my user is 99% of my defense. I always tell you guys that. Make sure your user is what you're really relying on, because right here, to cap the game, to win $1,000, the user got himself right there. Ryan Shazier gets the interception and absolutely unbelievable fashion. That was the game, man. And at that point in time, I 100% knew that the game was just in the bag. And I knew all I had to do was run the ball a couple of times. Now, at this point, though, you know, I knew the game was in the bag to a degree because all I know is he needed one stop, score, onside kick, score. And it's a game again. That's easier said than done, obviously, you know, especially onside kicks in Madden. But for the most part, I 100% was so certain inside that I was not losing this game. I knew I was not losing this game. And Leonard Fournette, shout out to you, bro. You literally made me like a high-key a Jaguars fan after freaking using you in Ultimate Team because his card was absolutely unbelievable. I know another person in the club series actually did use Leonard Fournette. A lot of people do use some of the same cards. That's what I was explaining in my video yesterday. But I mean, right here, Leonard Fournette just says, move, get out the way, right? Hold up, one time, boom. Like, look at that is all we needed right there. And you're just going to see us just continue to chew the clock. And notice, though, I'm not using chew clock. Notice I'm not using chew clock. I want you guys to understand that I respected all my opponents because, like I said, I never want to consider myself in the competitive field. I'm good at Madden, but I'm an entertainer. I'm an entertainer at heart. Always for you guys. I'm an entertainer and a teacher, and I'm just good at the game. That's the image that I portray myself as. And you're going to see I didn't put on chew clock because I respected every single opponent. I respected the opportunity of myself, win or lose. I respected everybody in the event. I respected everybody, and I didn't want to, I mean, yeah, sure, did I showboat? Yeah, did I get a little cocky when I was showboating? Sure, but I did not chew clock because I feel like chewing clock is a little bit more disrespectful than showboating. Well, I showboated because I was happy because I knew I won. The reason I didn't chew clock is because there's really, like, that's not real. You know what I mean? You can't speed up the clock in real life. You can't. You milk the clock. You let the clock drip down, and that's a respectful W. In my personal opinion, not chewing the clock is a respectful W. And now the reason you're seeing this right here is because, well, first of all, as soon as this game ended, I was freaking out. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't yell because my parents were asleep, so I could not get too loud and obviously get too hyped. But what you have to do with the club series is is you actually have to take a picture of the score, take a picture of the gamer tag, and you have to submit it to Madden League Ops, which is a Twitter account. They're pretty lit. If you want to look them up, you can. If not, it's no big deal, but they did shout your boy out because he won and he's in the Final Four. But yeah, man, I mean, honestly, this event was lit. It was one of the coolest opportunities. I hope next year that they do something like this again, because honestly, if Weekend League, I'm assuming Weekend League is going to be in Madden 19. Your boy's obviously going to grind a Weekend League. He's probably going to qualify again. If I ever get the opportunity to play Madden at this high of a level again, I would 100,000% sign up to do it. I mean, technically, I got a lot opportunity in Orlando to do it, so I'm really excited for that. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, be sure to leave a big fat thumbs up on the button. Shout out to my opponent right there, man. Literally, if he knew how to pass the ball like a little bit better than he did, not saying that he didn't know how to pass it, would have been a way crazier game. But for the most part, we put it in a box. Subscribe if you're new. Join the Savage Squad. Have a wonderful rest of your night.